China and Russia have made no secret of their extensive nuclear cooperation, joining together via video link in May of 2021 to celebrate the construction of new nuclear power units at two nuclear plants in China, both of which use Russian technology. While China's arsenal of nuclear warheads is still small compared to the U.S. and Russia, it is growing fast. G7 foreign ministers expressed concern about the scope and pace of China's nuclear expansion at a meeting in Japan this week. And senior U.S. Defense Department officials have testified before Congress that a new breeder reactor in China is for plutonium, and that plutonium is for weapons. VOA asked State Department Deputy Spokesperson Vedant Patel about how the United States plans to respond.
The PRC's nuclear buildup is deeply concerning, and it raises questions about the PRC's intent, and it reinforces the importance of pursuing practical measures to reduce nuclear risks. The pace at which the PRC is operating will create new stresses on international stability and new challenges for deterrence, assurance, arms control, and risk reduction.
China this week sought to dispel the concerns voiced by G7 foreign ministers in Japan.
China has always followed a defensive nuclear strategy, stick to the policy of no first use of nuclear weapons, and kept our nuclear capabilities at the minimum level required by national security. China is the only one among the 5 nuclear weapon states to have made these pledges. For any country, as long as they do not use or threaten to use nuclear weapons against China, they have nothing to worry about being threatened by China's nuclear weapons. This is the most meaningful transparency a country can provide.
Many U.S. lawmakers are skeptical of China signing on to an arms control treaty. And earlier this year, Russian President Vladimir Putin suspended his country's involvement in the last remaining arms control agreement with the U.S., the New START Treaty. House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Michael McCall spoke to VOA on his fears about China's nuclear buildup.
I've had the classified briefings on this, and it's massive. Their nuclear arsenal is frightening, and there's no treaty to control it. Ideally, we could renegotiate a New START treaty with Russia and include China in that, but I think given this unholy alliance that we're seeing, and the aggression that we're seeing from both dictators in both countries, I have very little hope that that will happen.
Democratic lawmaker David Cicilline told VOA the U.S. must act.
I have never been a supporter of additional nuclear proliferation. I think we need to redouble our efforts to prevent other countries from enlarging their nuclear stockpile, and adding more nuclear weapons from the U.S. is counterproductive to that effort.
The Federation of American Scientists estimates that China now has about 410 nuclear warheads. Russia has 5,889, and the U.S. has 5,244. Cindy Sain, VOA News, the State Department.